No one asked anyone how clothes should be made.
And I was like, I love this. What do you mean?
It all started back in 1997. We're giving you a better product.
The zip is slightly different on them.
That will last forever.
You're thinking out very far.
We can't say that, can we?
Because it's not just about creating clothing. This is really creating
consistency.
So today on the podcast, we have Erik Corlett, who's joining us, and you can see in the background, he has all of his products, and we'll get into that later, which is EXink, which I wear as well. So Erik, I'd really like to know more about your past and to share that with the audience. And how did you get to this point of launching a label, a clothing label that you and I both wear, that gives people a voice and is very community centric?
It all started back in 1997 when I had my daughter. So just really at the end of the day, it was just I like being a single father and working all the time. That's how I think learning how to create, keep yourself busy, and just have the mindset on success and not going backwards at the end of the day. Like when you're a single parent, and we'll go back to that. 1997, I was 19 years old, had a daughter. I had a job, just a regular job. Didn't know what to do, what the future had for me. So I just put my head down and worked every day. And then one day, me and her mom split. And then I was a single dad with full custody of a daughter. And she was a year old, and it was just buckle down and hustle time and work. And then one day, now we're adults. I was 42 years old, and I was out shopping for clothes one day. I couldn't find something I liked. Didn't fit me right. The cost was high, and I just called Elizabeth, my daughter, who's now 27 years old, and said, how do they do it? How do these other brands make the clothing and get it out here, market it? And essentially we just sat down and said, I'm going to figure this out. And here we are 3 years later with EXink Apparel, and building a brand where people have a voice and essentially can give us their input and their thoughts and their ideas on what's a better fit, what's the fabric, and essentially all of us working together as a community and, just answering the questions that people have been asking, like, why do people do things certain ways? Can we not change it? Can we do this? Like, let's think outside the box on fashion, but keep comfort. So we always sit there and like you and I were just talking about, was having a voice and building a brand, putting that together and giving you comfort, classic style. I like the black. We are adding color this spring, and essentially give everyone the perfect fit. Like that's the end goal. I'm 6'2", 225 right now. And I feel that I can't just go to a clothing store and pick up a t-shirt or a hoodie or something like that. So creating the brand was allowing me to create a better fit. And here we are.
Amazing. Yeah. So, I mean, I know it fits really well, but we'll get into that later. So you were working really hard, had a young child, so your daughter, working really hard, and through really working hard, you then obviously had more opportunities come your way through your work ethic. So you were talking about how you, with your current wife, and then you guys moved out a little bit out of the city, and you had another opportunity, which is...
Yeah, so what I did was, when I was a single parent, I went and worked on the drilling rigs with some friends of mine. And then we were out there for years and years. Long days, long hours, not a great lifestyle, but great money. And then I saw the housing market in Eastern Canada, and I thought, why do I live here? Like, why do I live in BC, paying crazy amounts of money to live there? And I said, forget it. I can fly in, fly out to work. Moved out here to the East Coast, which is New Brunswick, Canada. It's where the brand was built. And I thought, my son actually said he didn't want me flying away anymore because I'd fly away for 6 months at a time. So I looked for work. I got work. And I talked to the gentleman about his company, which is an HVAC company, which does maintenance and services for, we do like kitchen ventilation and residential. And then I just thought if he had better tools, we could expand a little bit more. And he said he was looking more to retire. So then I bought it. I just asked for a number, gave me a number. With everything that I've done in my life, I worked. I said, well, I'm going to keep working. Might as well work for myself. So we started off with that. We've been doing that for 8 years. And then from that, go shopping, can't find anything you like, and build a brand. Just
Yeah.
start from scratch. Everything we've ever done is from this kitchen. Like this island right here, all of my designs came off of it. And they will continue to come off of it. Like this essentially house that we have right here is going to be essentially our warehouse. And then we're going to go build a new one down the street.
Wow. So
like, just keep it close.
So this is one thing I want to really focus in on, because, and maybe we'll get to where you and I met, was that you are from the very beginning. It's literally been go out. Yes, there's a problem. You solve the problem and you move on, and then you figure out another way, or you see another opportunity to make something better. Like moving into this business, you could see, well, with a bit of tooling, this could expand. That led to you having the opportunity to take over a business and then become a business owner. So moving from the rigs and being a single dad right to owning your own company, and obviously getting remarried and having a son as well. So it's really interesting. And then obviously you and I met, and you and I had the same vision. I was really keen on starting a brand because I could see how, especially with NFTs, so non-fungible tokens, that there was becoming an opportunity. People were taking, their art and putting it on T-shirts, and I could see this is going to be a trend, and I could see hyper-personalization of clothing. And then you and I met and had a conversation and instantaneously hit it off in a bar over a hamburger, and I was like, I love this. What do you mean? What? And then you were like telling me about fabrics and telling me about what was it? You spent $3,000 on just the thread alone, which I was like, and I was like feeling the thread, and I was going like, okay, I do understand it, because I know when T-shirts get a bit older, like the thread starts getting hard and it starts feeling, and you can also feel it in newer clothing. It irritates you a bit. But wow, 3,000 just on thread.
It's the whole thought. Like I would not have known that to put together clothing would have cost like that value. But when I was designing the hoodie, which is our flagship, is I would look at other brands and I saw how they were doing their stitching, and I would see how it was holding up, because obviously we run tests and tests and tests and tests. It's a never ending thing. And I thought, well, I wanted a flat stitch. Let's make it a flat stitch. And they said, oh, well, if you want to go a flat stitch, well, let's change the thread itself. Done. Let's change the thread. $3,000. It was like before I even made a hoodie, we paid $10,000 in fabric. Yeah. And that was it's a blended fabric that we got made that essentially is like ultra, ultra soft. And it's lighter. I find it moves a little bit better with your body, with motion, and it stretches and it holds its shape. And I've washed it a lot, and it's hanging on there. It's been over a year now. We've been testing it, and it is finally in its finishing, of development. So fingers crossed that we should have that before the end of the month in full production.
Yeah, well, I had Zero, hoodie V0. Yeah. So I had that, the pink one, super comfortable. My missus has it now because it's pink and but it's so comfortable. And then I got V2, didn't I? You sent me out
Hmm.
V2. I had V2, yeah. So V2's got an interesting story, hasn't it? How you came to, because you have the zip is slightly different on them to traditional hoodies.
Yes.
So there's an interesting story about how you came to wanting the zip. I mean, I love the zip because it doesn't sit on my Adam's apple, like it sits on the side. Plus, obviously, when it folds down, it's just different.
Well, that was the whole idea too. Like, I I like the offset zipper. I think it adds a little bit of style to your everyday hoodie. But at the same time, like you said, like when you unzip it and it folds like this, I think it looks great. Like I think, and it might be weird, it might be strange to people to understand that the fold goes like this instead of opening up like this. But I just think it looks better. We even have like the Teo Tuesday shirt in white, and when you wear the white shirt, because it's like snow white, when you wear that white shirt underneath that black hoodie, I think it looks fantastic. And we will offer that hoodie in other colors in the future as well. But for right now, the keeping the classic look of the white and black, um, it's easy. The people like it, and when we're going through building that community, we'll be having these discussions with, who likes what color, what's the favorite, and then because like when you get to color, color's hard, shades.
Yeah,
There's, 1,000 shades of blue. So it's like, well, what shades do you go with? Like on our X account, you'll see I put out a little bit of, you know, um, blue, baby blue for women, and then more of a royal blue for men. It's on my feed there, and these are colors that we're looking at bringing in the next couple weeks. So see how it
yeah.
looks, see what
Yeah,
people
well,
think.
the black and white works really well because that's obviously fits with your logo. So, like the
Mm-hmm.
colors, it works really well. I really like the black one. I mean, a white one would be cool. I just have the unfortunate habit of always staining my clothing. I always tend to get like a stain on it. So that's
Oh,
why I
I'm no
tend not
better.
to wear white.
Yeah, I'm absolutely no better. I I wear the black every single day. I actually had some sample shorts made that I like but don't love. And I was just saying just yesterday that I think it's just going to be my new summer outfit. I'm like, I'm just going to wear these shorts with this shirt. I'm like, that's you need me all summer. I'm just going to look exactly the same. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
we'll simplify.
these are the new these aren't the which we can get to the
Yeah,
made
they
by
haven't
Ape,
even been
but
released yet.
these aren't the made by Ape cost like swimming shorts. These are the actual
No,
shorts, the leisure
yeah.
shorts.
So I did a pair of shorts last year for when I was golfing, like just to try different golf apparel, and I liked them. Well, I actually really liked them, but there's rules in golf for these private clubs, like how your
Yeah.
shorts should look. So I had to redesign them, but I still already had these samples. So I just said, I'm just going to keep them for myself and wear them. All samples I get are my size anyways,
Yeah.
just for that reason. I was like, you'll see me more in clothing that is non-release by EXink because I was like, well, I already own it. I might as well wear it. you know,
Oh yeah.
the quality is outstanding. So,
Actually, it'd be super interesting. I think we can touch on that a bit later around the how community can be involved and people can get involved in the label. So, in other words, the part of have a voice, build a brand, which I love the slogan that you have, which
mhm.
actually was the motivation for you, other than walking into Lululemon with your daughter and then realizing that you could do things better.
And the thing with Lululemon, I'm a huge fan of their clothing. I do like how they thought outside the box and they did their own thing. I just felt that I still, if you were a certain size, their outfit was perfect for you. For me, not being like I was in their size scale, but I just didn't find it as comfortable. So that's where we were looking at how could we give you the quality and comfort, and it was very slight, measurement changes and fabric. fabric's number one. It's the biggest change you can make in clothing.
So I think people don't quite know when you're talking about what the fabric feels like because they don't have it in their hands. Obviously, I'm lucky enough to have it in my hands, so thank you. But it does truly, like the thread and the fabric is completely different. Also, just the way it sits on my shoulders because you have a different. Again, the cut is very different. It's super comfortable.
And that was my main goal was essentially comfort. Now, price is hard. We're not, a big brand label where we're making, 10,000 shirts and, you can keep that price down. That's probably my biggest battle right now is going to be doing a price evaluation versus quality and comfort, where I feel that we're giving you a better product, but it can't compete with somebody else's sale price. So when you have a big brand and they're expensive, I'm lower than them. But when they have their product on sale, well, then I'm higher than them. And people will always look at the known name before looking at, you know, something new, even though I'm doing everything I can to offer you something better.
Yeah, well, that's actually really interesting because that's something that you and I've spoken about a lot. Is, or maybe I've mentioned it, but we haven't spoken at length. But was that when you're looking at your other big brands that are out there, those brands, the quality isn't the same as what you're creating. Even if you are slightly more expensive, your quality is going to be better, and then people are paying for less quality, and most of the money is actually going to the brand. So paying to advertise for the Adidas's, the Nikes, the rest of them. You're paying to advertise them. And yours is slightly different where people have an opportunity to actually co-create, which is different. Like I can buy a Nike hoodie and to pay the same amount as an EXink hoodie. The quality is going to be less and I'm going to advertise this, but I could actually potentially co-create a hoodie and have myself on there, like as my own, like my name on it. Like Tio's got his own, like it's a looser fits, isn't it? The t-shirt,
Tier
I think you were
Tuesday,
telling me.
the Tier
Yeah,
Tuesday
Tio
box shirt.
Tuesday. Yeah, these are the good mornings. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. This is a good morning t shirt. I love it. I wear it every single day. The idea of, having a voice and building the brand essentially is just like you said, where you can email me. You have ideas, you can email me. There is in the future an NFT project that's going to be part of this, and it's going to be building the brand with the community, where essentially we'll have these kind of chats, you and I and the community, and just bouncing ideas. And like you said, having your own branding on your idea. We're obviously going to do something special for, the winning ideas and do little competitions. My main goal with building the brand and having a voice is when you have an idea, right? You bring the idea to the table. That sample idea, which is paid for by EXink, goes to the manufacturer. We'll get it made. You're getting the sample. I'm not getting the sample. I don't make the final decision. This is your idea. And I want you to put as much care and thought into it and be as creative as possible, and then be rewarded for what you've done and created this and have it on our website clothing brand for, this season, or depending on what it was that you developed, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to the NFT part of it.
The game stage 2, there is a game, a play to earn game with it, and we're stage 2 of 5. So we have Welcome to the Island. Then we
Yeah.
have into the cave, and then we're going to be golf course. So there's going to be a scene where your character is running around the golf course. We have ski resort, and then we haven't actually decided what the 5th level is going to be. But even with the play to earn game being a holder of the project, it allows you to play the game to actually win online currency for our website.
So this is interesting. So you've got a play to earn game. You've got a clothing label where you have an opportunity to build or have a voice in designing different clothing or part of the range. And you get the NFT, which allows you entry to the community, which then also give you access to the game, which is pay to earn, which then gives you, play to earn, which then gives you opportunity to get more EXink clothing.
Yes.
Very cool.
It goes back to our give back, no bullshit brand. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to mess around. I don't want, you know, the idea that I'm doing all this for myself to make myself rich. I think working together as a community and being a holder and rewarding holders and building a brand through, Web3 community-based projects is the way to go. And I like the opportunities that, like, I like the position that I'm in to give people the opportunity to do something like this. And I think you just never know who you're going to meet. Like you and I, we're here talking on a podcast together. Me and Tio stars in one of our commercials. You're right. It's like when we're building a brand and having a voice, it's giving the opportunity to people to express themselves. And at the same time, it's giving us the opportunity to build something better than our competitor. And no one asks anyone how clothes should be made. They just say, here's my clothes. That's my logo. Wear it. And I'm saying, here's my clothes. That's my logo. How could we make it better? And let's work together.
What people haven't realized here, which you and I've spoken offline about, like so before the numerous conversations, is that this is not your traditional NFT or traditional way of doing things. You've actually really thought it through, and not only have you invested the time, you've also invested the money to build this out. So everything's already prepaid for. So as you move into the final stages of your master plan, as I'd like to call it, like getting to that launch date of launching everything and everybody's seen the full project, they realize that it's not about projects of before where people are looking to sell an NFT or to sell a membership in order to raise funds. It's not about raising the funds. This is really about building a brand and building a very stable and long last. You have a very long vision, so the foundations are already built, and you're looking for a very long. You're thinking out very far.
Well, that's the biggest thing. When I'm a huge fan of non-fungible tokens, we have lots. I have lots, and lots of them that didn't go anywhere. And that's where I'm looking at what could I do that others aren't doing. And you mentioned it, that they're selling an NFT, non-fungible token, to build something out. And it's a great concept if people utilize the funding right. And when they're not utilizing the funding to build what their roadmap had talked about, then they became a rug. And I said, I would never want to associate myself with a rug. So where could how could I do it different? And that was the brand coming out with a project, not a project building a brand. And by doing it backwards and having it already paid for means we're using the funding to develop the clothing that the community talks about. And that's building a brand together. The brand's already there. We just need to expand off of it with, the ideas of others. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I know what I like. I know what fits me right. I know the fabrics that I use are my favorite. And, somebody else is going to be different. So let's look at what somebody else's favorite fabric is. What is their design idea? And then we'll build from that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, I think the other thing as well is that the other part of, so people say a lot of things, the same as what we're talking about NFT projects where they've gone bust, or people are using all the funds and maybe don't appropriate those funds properly and it runs out of money and dies off. But I think the other side of your project, which I find super intriguing, is that it's not just about people building clothing. This is about you wanting to build people. and help people on their journey. And that's one thing I love about, I don't know if you want to get into it, but it was more around you are helping. You've got like a fighter that you're supporting. And you're also
Yeah.
supporting, there's going to be somebody who's playing golf. So again, you've got the golf side of it. And then there's obviously other people who I've seen online. So I've seen on Threads and I've seen on Instagram. There are other people that you're also supporting on their journey. So can you talk more about those?
Yeah, so essentially, I like the idea of good health, eating right, working out, stuff like that. Like my wife's right now; she's at the gym, and I feel that when you go buy a clothing, it's an XL size. That's what I wear. Now, if I was in perfect health, I'd be a little bit slimmer, maybe 195, hopefully sooner than later,
Yeah.
and I would actually go down a size to a large. So what we want to do is we want to work with people on their journey, and like you said, like social media with Instagram and stuff like that, it's real easy for EXink as a brand to say, hey, you've purchased this extra large, you're on this track to good health, why don't we work together? As you're posting on your social media, we'll help you get to your next step down size. So it's kind of like it's an incentive to help, to do good health, and at the same time you're not wasting your money. You're not going down a size and like, my whole closet is, it's all garbage, I gotta donate it and get all the new size. Let XInc help you. Let's work together on good health, a fitter you, a better you, and get you into a style, a fit that's going to be more comfortable. You don't necessarily want your clothes to be always big and baggy on you. It's like some stuff's more fitted, so let's have that new you on your fitted clothing that feels, fits right, looks great.
Yeah. No, I'm saying these are the things that I know from behind the scenes and I love that it's not just like, well, we have a game and you can do this and we can buy this NFT and you can do this and this is what we're doing with our clothing and we want to build together. But there's also it's wider than that. You are really trying to build a community, which I really love.
Mm-hmm.
So moving from single dad, solving problems and constantly leveling up to where do you see the future of the industry going? So when we take like Web 2, Web 3 and building a brand, where do you see that? How do you see that evolving over the next year, the next 5 years?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, a full product line, streetwear and office wear, would be ideal. That's what I'd like. So it's like, you and I talked about Russ and stuff like that. He's a close friend of mine, and with Russ being a businessman, and there's a lot of them out there that want to be business casual. They want to be on something, they could be at the grocery store with their wife to get a phone call to have to jump out to a meeting at a coffee shop with a client. So in the next 5 years, I will definitely have that classic casual business wear, streetwear. Um, but again, focusing on business, we have to hit marks for everybody, like kids line. I have a 10-year-old. He actually wears our clothing. He's the only child that has XInc wear right now. When I get it made for myself, I get it made for him as well, just so we can match. But he's a huge supporter, and I think when he when we get a new package in and it's something cool, he's ready to wear it right away. It's like, I don't know, he's a kid. But in the next 5 years, I would like to have a full built out kids to adults, from the playground to the gym to the streets to the office. That's the goal.
Yeah, so you wouldn't. So you basically wouldn't have to go anywhere else. Xync would fulfill every facet of from your personal life to your professional life and everything in
And
between, including the kids.
yeah, but that's going to the community, and like girls clothing is hard, man. Like
Yeah.
girls clothing, like if it wasn't for like Elizabeth, we wouldn't have a girls line. I was like, I I could not for the life of me figure out how girls' clothing was done and was still comfortable, other than it's leggings. It's it's a great fabric, but it's how it's put together. And they don't want the front stitch, they don't want the outer it's like, how do you want me to make it? Like, how are we constructing this? And then I had actually sent out some clothing to a guy in Web3. His name's Fully Vox. He owns bluelist.io, and his wife really liked it, but she had some ideas. So right away we went to the drawing board. It must have been like, I don't know, let's say 2 weeks later, we came out with another set of leggings that she really liked. My daughter loves them. Elizabeth, Jenny, they wear them all the time. So for me, that was going back to having the voice and building a brand. Somebody had an idea, Fox's wife, and said, "Hey, have you ever done something like this or thought of this?" No, because it's women. So now moving forward with having, a community, it's going to be a lot more relaxing on me, because the ideas will become from a collective and not just from myself. And I think that I'll hopefully sleep a little bit better. Long late nights, you're
Yeah.
consistently on the phone around the world. Like, we talk from Dubai to China to Bangladesh, India. It's a lot. Different time zones. I'm in Eastern Canada. It's always early morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm, I don't know how to say how impressed I am with what you've created, because it's not just about creating clothing. This is really creating a new way to do things and really thinking about being community centric, which I love, and trying to incorporate everyone and bring everyone together to try and build a brand together, rather than, like, as you said, it is tiring trying to build it by yourself, but also building out what people want and then becoming an integral part of their lives. So you are really
Mm-hmm.
coming into a very personal space, but you're also making it personal with people by saying, well, how can we make this better for you? What is it that you're looking for? What isn't in the marketplace that you would need? And then on that journey of, what they actually need, is also saying, well, we want to join your journey with you. You want to drop a size, let's join forces. Let's work together on this. So, and you putting the community first and putting those people in your community first is amazing. And I think it's something that's sorely been overlooked and possibly tried, but maybe failed because they haven't done the work you've done to actually build up from the beginning and build those foundations that people can then build on top of those foundations. So I really appreciate what you have done.
Well, we got, for me, because I always say, like, I wanted to be the difference. I wanted to be the reason things were done this way. And then I have people like Rafi with a kid called Bees. We have Puff Stars. They're another streetwear brand out there. Like, these guys are killing it. Like, these guys they have products, they have games, they have their NFT projects, they have their tokens. And I'm watching them and I'm seeing how they're doing it, how they're working with the community, how they're working with the public. Like, the public is like, they'll hit or miss on you. Like, they'll either think you're great or they'll think you're garbage. And when it comes to Puff Stars, he's so active. Like, to have the ability to do what he does and to consistently be on camera, to doing posts, to showing his branding and stuff like that is really good. And then you have Rafi with a kid called Beast, which is another project that he's so community based, and the love and care that he gives to them and gets from them is next level. Like, I hope when all said and done, I could be at the caliber of Puff Stars and a kid called Beast with the Platosaurus project.
Well, I definitely think you're definitely on the way to that. I think the other thing we haven't touched on as well, which is something that I have to congratulate you on, is acquiring a mutant ape, first off.
Yes.
And second off, not only acquiring a mutant ape, but then seeking to use the IP behind it and actually getting, I don't know how there's a selection process or there's an application process, sorry, to be built by
Yeah.
apes. Is it called?
Yeah, it's an app. It is an application. It's made by apes, and it is to be within the Made by Apes community. You need to be you need to be an ape holder, and yeah. So we thought, as a brand wanting to expand, because Made by Apes is worldwide, they're everywhere. Why not look at that, look down that road. So we did I picked up a mutant ape, which the market was great. They have quite value to them, but the value behind a Made by Apes project, I think, will put you on a different plane than, just where we started out. It's more eyes. It is a lot more eyes. And the difference between EXink coming into a Twitter space to my mutant ape coming into a Twitter space is night and day. Like it's crazy how accepted people are to that community. And we're going to build off of that and have a Made by Apes selection category on our clothing brand website. So there'll be a whole Made by Apes, which will be EXink Apparel with different design ideas for streetwear and stuff like that. Especially, I'm going to have most fun with it when it comes to golf apparel. I
Yeah.
think, having your little character and stuff like that. But I think it was a good decision, and it was not a hard one to make. It was like, when you saw what they were building out, you're like, oh, well, that's right up our alley. That's what we're focusing on. So let's look at that. And as soon as I got the approval, I was super, super happy. I posted about it, and then went to the design table and started designing swimwear with it.
So we have Bored Ape Yacht Club, which most people won't know is a really big NFT project that came out. So first 10,000 and people got it. And then they had a derivative collection. That was what it was called. So people got each ape got a mutant ape. So, and that created, they're up to 40,000 now, aren't they? So they did did they get four each?
There's Mutant Ape 1, Mutant Ape 2, and then
it's
there's
2. Okay, fine. That's what it is.
Kettle Dog or something? Kettle Dog?
Yeah, no, I saw the dogs, but I was just the mutants. I remember there were 2 per ape, but it went to 40,000. So it was obviously a second run on the apes, like the mutant apes. So yeah, the mutant apes gives you access to the Bored Ape community. So there's lots of movie stars, sports stars that own either a Bored Ape or a mutant ape. So yeah, the community is really great there. So, but it's closed off. You can't gain access to it. So without an ape.
Which is, I like that. You're part of an exclusive club. And like you said, when there's people within their brand already, when you're a clothing brand made by apes within their brand, that should hopefully take you to the next level, is kind of the math behind the idea. And with that as well, like with having a voice and building a brand, people in our community with the Planosaurus project, if you have an idea with the Made by Apes, well, it's all us. Like we EXink are Made by Apes. We have that licensing. So if you have an idea of something to do with that license, yeah, like I'm here, we're here. Let's work together and put something together with it, because that's what I'm after.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to point that out because I think, again, people who don't understand, that's another thing that you've invested in with the brand to try and give the holders a more opportunity. So it creates a way more opportunity. And I think the other thing that you and I have spoken about a lot is obviously that you can do collaborations with people. So this is not just about coming with an idea for clothing. It could be like, hey, the Good Morning shirt, I would like the Good Morning shirt, but I'd like to offer it to my entire community with our branding on it. So co-branding on it, which is another option that you can do. And that's one of the things that we were talking about as well, is that as the community grows out, your minimum to meet minimum orders means that over time you become more and more competitive, because you can order vastly larger quantities.
Yeah, and essentially that goes back to the price. When you're buying, say, 10,000 t-shirts, our our price, so our profit margin is a lot different, and that's where I want to carry it on to our holders. So our holders will get, say, bigger discounts on clothing, and or free clothing, like when we do like airdrops, clothing like competitions, when you're sponsored by us for your health journeys and stuff like that. You were talking about the fighter, Alan. He fights tonight. We're
Yep.
all going to be watching that fight tonight for sure. And then just really just helping like community, and like you were saying, with the partnership with or with your communities and stuff like that, or other communities. I want to work with back to Puff Stars, and have like they have all the tools to do branding. So I like the idea of collaboration, but I want to collaborate within communities that have tools. So, Puff Stars has their own t-shirt, and we have our own t-shirt, but they have the tools to do logoing, and you have a community and you want the Good Morning t-shirt. Well, we're going to utilize and keep everything community based. And when we're working with a community, with the Platosaurus Project, like yourself, of being a podcaster, you don't know who you're going to meet, and how we could intertwine together to build brands bigger. Like from yourself, Jaden Violet, he's on Twitch. I'm a huge fan of Jaden Violet and what he's doing right now. And essentially, I want to be in all of his music videos. I want EXink to be in every music video that guy does. That guy does such good quality work that I'm like, man, why are we not doing this? He hit 1,000 followers on Twitch. We did a clothing giveaway on his thing, which they don't even know. They got hoodies and t-shirts, uh, just because I want everyone to have it. So to do bulk orders and to get better savings means we can help more people at the end of the day. That's what I'm after.
That's incredible. So if somebody was wanting to extend, so to collaborate with you and to help you with brand exposure, so mutually beneficial, so how would somebody contact you? So if it was somebody who was a budding sports star, or somebody who has a podcast, or is a musician, how would they reach out to you?
So essentially on our website, which is exink.co, there is our email, like to contact us, which is, you're literally contacting me every time. And then on X, it's exink _ co. I'm fully doxed too. My name is Erik Corlett, so at Erik Corlett on X as well. Just send us a message. It was the one thing that I actually said I would always do, is I'll be the guy you talk to, good or bad. I said, you could hire anyone to do that job for you and not have the care and compassion for that job that I'll give you. So I would rather have help and hire someone to do these jobs while I'm consistently working with the community on these jobs and being just always improving and being better. So yeah, you're contacting me straight up. Every
Yeah,
email, message, it comes right to you. It's just the other day, a guy, Ace, sent me a message. He said, hey man, I would totally support that hoodie. What's your email? Sent him a hoodie right away, like that day.
amazing. Yeah, well, I think that's another thing that people don't realize, is that when they're talking, they're actually talking to you. So every DM, every email is actually answered by you. So that's not, you can't say that of everybody out there.
No, and I've been in spaces too, and people are like, well, how long will that last? And I'm like, that will last forever. Like, let's go back to Rafi with Kid Called Beast. I have congratulated that guy on his journey every single time he's gone back to me. If I've asked him a question, every single time he's gone back to me. Puffstars, I've actually had physical phone calls with the CEO of Puffstars. Like that guy there, I'm going to say he's in Florida. Might be doxing him. He's in Florida, but he, he picks up his phone and he'll take call because he had this design idea on his chest, and I had to know what it was. I had to know how he did it. He's like, "Oh, I did that." I'm like, "Oh my god, of course you did. Of course you did that." But I love it. Like and I
Yeah.
think, as we're all growing as a brand in the community and making myself available, I think it's going to be the best way of doing it.
No, it's definitely. I mean, I think it's really important that people understand that it's not the way it has been before. Again, going back to all these bigger brands, you're doing it completely differently. And this is really about having a voice. And having a voice means that you're speaking to Erik. And that's how you have a voice. You're not talking to some random, not random, but you're not speaking to an employee somewhere that doesn't, you're speaking to Erik. So you are getting that.
Or AI. Or AI. I literally sent a message to somebody the other day and I got that AI response, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so people aren't talking anymore. It was just right away. I got a response and you knew it wasn't that person. I was like, "Oh, how can I help you?" I'm like, I just asked the question. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, I will never use AI technology to have a conversation within
Yeah.
the community or somebody that has questions that needs answers. That is never going to happen with me.
This is interesting. So if we take, what are your views on AI? So as we, if people are using it to save them time, but then you're dropping the personal elements to it. So what are you actually using your spare time for? But it's interesting to hear what you think of AI and the evolution of it, because it's happening in real time and super quick. And you and I both have young, well, not so young, but we have sons who are around the same age.
So my thought on AI as a tool to use, like, Google when you ask a question, Siri or whatnot. But I think when people take away, like when you get into the question and answer with AI, like from a phone call, on social media is a big one because now they're like dubbing in people's voices with AI and it's really not what they're saying. So the whole misinformation, I think, is a little scary. But the thought that you're having a conversation with somebody who's not even there and they're answering these questions like crisp, clear, no mistakes, like I I don't like that. I don't like that. Essentially, me and you could be sitting by the pool having a beer in Mexico, and this two AI characters right now are having a conversation in their homes doing the podcast. I think that is crazy, but one day it's going to happen. It's People look at it as
Yeah,
entertainment.
it's already there. So they already have complete AI YouTube channels, like where it's completely like all AI driven. Like the voice is AI, the script is read by AI, the video is even done by AI. It's crazy. So you touched on Mexico. I'd really like to to go into Mexico because I know that you went to Mexico to film a whole bunch of promo videos and did a load of, was it photo shoot as well? You did photo shoot and also shot some videos.
Yeah. Yeah. We did our photo shoot. We did our videos with Max Productions. They like Paramount Max, HBO Max. Um, they they had a director and a producer in Mexico, a friend of ours, Sadwick. He's on our team. He knew somebody that made a music video for him and was filming a show down there for Netflix. And essentially just said, "Hey, I know somebody. Give him a call." He said, "Hey, if you're willing to come here, bring your products. We'll do the shoot. Let's go." So then from that conversation, we had called our good friend Tio, and I do not speak Mexican. I'm in Canada and I don't even speak French. And Tio did not even know why he was going there. Hopped on an airplane from Texas, flew to Mexico. I flew from Canada, flew to Mexico. We met at the airport, got our Uber, went to the hotel. One day later, we went for a meeting with the producer and the director, shook some hands, and he was like, "What are we doing?" I said, "We're shooting a commercial." The guy is super happy, super happy. I think he's got a few thousand views on TikTok for his part right now in the ad, and we were down there for like 14 days. 14 days to film a 3-minute commercial and do a photo shoot. Seems like a long time. It is a long time. There's a lot to go into filming, which would never have thought of. From the lighting to setting up the stage, we had to rent a house or an apartment. We were on the streets, the alleyways. Like it was a lot, but it was a really, really good learning for everyone, or me, Tio. We had a lot of fun there. And with the community and going forward, when we do, run our next ad, sorry, we're going to do competitions and, do like great ideas and stuff like that. And essentially bring a lucky winner down to have a spotlight in the advertising like Tio was. Tio is my tester. Working with Tio has been great, and to utilize his willingness to pick up and go anywhere at any time has been amazing. So to have him have his own t-shirt, to have him have his own spotlight is showing the community that working with the community, this is what we want to do. And we want to offer this to other holders as well, not just, ones that I'm friends with, we've all met. So let's, build a friendship within the community and have everyone essentially help with marketing, be in our ads and wearing our clothing.
Yeah. So again, through your whole life, it's just been these amazing difficulty, but this learning, this constant tenaciousness in like wanting to evolve and wanting to push forward, and then taking opportunities like going to Mexico and then having somebody who's filming for Netflix film your ad for you as well. Like just it's everything just happening at the right time for you, which is amazing as well. But you also being ready to take those opportunities is incredible.
Yeah, it's been a long 3 years though.
Oh yeah.
Like this, like you see the video came out great, looks fantastic. Sadwick did the music. It's called Alive. It sounds great, but to get there, like the actual journey for 3 years, it's a long time. It is a long, long time. But we're coming to the end stages of it now with the development of the hoodie. We'll be offering a pre-sale on that. And then the NFT project's done, like generated. We are getting some of our legendaries, our skateboards, which we'll be offering you a physical plus the NFT itself. So I will send those your way so you can actually see what they are.
Awesome.
And yeah, and then really stage 2 of the video games being completed right now. So when it's all done, we're just going to market.
No, I'm saying so. A lot of it's just marketing and trying to get it out there. So that's really important. So now we're coming to the end of it, and obviously we have a closing tradition on the Blank Page podcast, which is how would you sum up your journey thus far in like a word or phrase?
Hard.
It is hard.
It's really hard. Man, I don't know. It is. It's a long, difficult road that I believe when we get to the end of it, there's going to be success. I think it doesn't matter how much money we've spent. At the end of the day, we weren't sacrificing, quality. We were making sure that we had the highest quality, the best fabric that I could come up with. And no matter what it was costing, I was going to ensure that we didn't cut corners. Like even like Jenny herself said, when you're building something and you have like your hoodie, you want that hoodie to be the hoodie you go for. You want it to be the shirt you're going to grab out of your closet. It's the one you're looking for. So essentially that's EXink. That's the brand we're building is, you know, if you're going to the gym and you're a woman and you want your tights, we want, you know, those leggings to be our leggings. That's the ones you're searching in your drawer for. You know, you're grabbing our hoodie. So that's, the journey's long. It's hard. It's, I don't know. We'll make it. It will succeed.
Oh, of course it'll succeed. So, okay, so to sum up your journey is just, it's hard and long.
We can't say that, can we? Oh no, we're gonna ask Jenny. Jenny, to sum up the journey of EXink.
Oh, it's Jenny there. Hey, Jenny.
Termination.
Yes.
And grit.
What's that?
And grit.
Grit.
I know.
Tenaciousness is what I would say. I would say tenaciousness.
Never giving up.
We've had so many facilities make this hoodie where it's been like, oh my God, you have to make it right. Like, we have to get it this time. Jenny will take a measurement. I'll take a measurement, change something. No, still it can be better. We can make that a better fit. So it's a long road. Determination will get us across that finish line for sure. And what was it you said? What was your one word?
Grit.
Determination.
Yeah.
Determination.
Making it the best.
We will be the best. Like, there's no doubt about it when it comes to like making the better product. But everything goes back to the marketing. Like, when you look at, you have a really, really good product, but not, like, marketing's hard. You're not in the eyes of the right people or in the eyes of everyone. Marketing's expensive. Like, marketing is not cheap at all. So it's because we own EXink Services Canada has allowed us to finance EXink and to continue to finance it. It's a no-brainer. Like, we're going for gold here. We're going to make sure that we complete it and we make a perfect product so everyone wants it. And there's my marketing. Go get it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're definitely on the right path. So I know marketing is super expensive. Marketing is also very difficult because it's so nuanced, and it's also such a noisy space at the moment because everyone is just throwing so much into it. So it's very noisy. So it's really about being clinical. Clinical is the right word. You need to be very like surgeon-like to understand exactly where you want to put the most amount of effort to get the person or the people, like, to get their attention and to get them focused on you. It's really difficult in a very noisy place at the moment. Although guerrilla marketing works really well.
It does. But it's like you said too, like, when you're building a community and stuff like that, and you're having, like, you, like, as a podcaster, you have Jason Violet, he's a musician. You have Sadwick, he's a musician. You have Tio, does Twitter Spaces all the time. You know, you have, like, people like Ace, who's, you know, a really big supporter. You have Mayor, he's a supporter. You know, like, you have all these people that you're meeting in these spaces, and getting the clothing out to them is in my mind, using the community to help with marketing and rewarding them is the best marketing I could do, because in my mind, I like it. Like, I like the idea of, like, if you had a brand, I'd wear your brand everywhere I go. And, you know, like, just doing, like, photo ops, or like you were talking about, like, Instagram, like, getting out there.
No, I think
hopefully
you're growing with community, which is completely different again. And because you grow with community, it's the same as, like, my son asks, like, okay, well, when do they have clothing for me? So it grows out from then. Other people see the clothing and go, oh, and then they'll have a look for it. And then you can grow. So it actually grows faster through word of mouth because it's coming from somebody you trust. And it's a super clever way of marketing out as well, because people can feel it firsthand and go, oh, I like that. Oh, okay. And then obviously for me personally, I'd be like, oh, well, you know, I want to get my brother a T-shirt, and I want to get my dad a T-shirt. And and I want to get my son one. My missus also likes the gym, so I want to get her the tights now. So it grows out from people using it and, like you said, becoming their first choice.
That was the thing too, is like making those deals with shipping companies so we can offer worldwide. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've literally went to go order something and not having the worldwide shipping with being in Canada, like just ordering from the United States. And there's a blocker there where it's like, no, they only ship within the States and offer deals within the States. We were like, no, we're going to go worldwide. Like, we need to be worldwide. I want us to be a household name, not just a Canadian name. So worldwide, let's make those deals. UPS, what do you got? How can we make
Yeah.
this work? So, and that's why we offer free shipping at a certain amount. We still pay for it. Obviously, it comes out of the profit of the shirt. But at the end of the day, I'm getting it in the hands of you. And another thing that we're doing too is if you order a shirt between 2:30 or Atlantic Standard Time, which is where I am, it's going to be the same day shipping. Like, we're going to ship it out right away, because I don't think there's any better feeling than getting a product faster when you bought it.
Except when you live in the European Union and then you see it's arrived because it was so quick to get to me, and then it sits in customs. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It sat in customs 3 times as long as it took to get to me, like to actually arrive. It sat in customs. But that's a funny story as well. You were talking about how the nuances of customs around the world.
Yeah, and I've actually had it to where I've had products from Utah come to me within 7 days, which is super fast. And then I've had products that have taken months. And I'm like, how is this even possible? If there was a way past it, trust me, I would take in that avenue. But customs is customs, and when you talk to them, they're going to do what they want to do at their pace. They do not. It doesn't matter what brand is on that package. That's just how long it takes.
Yeah. So these are all the things that you've had to learn along the way. I think the shipping will get a lot better over time because as you like like you said, you never know who you're going to meet, and then you eventually meet people, and then you figure out a different way to do it and make it even better. And again,
Well,
that
now
goes to your word as well. Like you constantly, the grit and the determination to make it better and to keep evolving is something that not everyone does.
Well, that's the best thing about us and wanting to grow is just like doing the distribution. Distribution is if you have somebody in the US, you have somebody in the UK, and the places around the world, we can then distribute the clothing from the facilities to these locations to make it even faster. And then that also cuts down on shipping costs as well. So it's like it's more profit. More profit is better for everybody. It's better for the community, and we just need to get to that point where we can buy the products, because like right now if we're buying, say, my t-shirts, I buy 250 t-shirts at a time. That's MOQ. Actually, I think it's 500. But to distribute those around the world to other community members to help do the mail outs and stuff like that doesn't work because it's such a small quantity. But when we're talking thousands, then the profit margins are better. There's going to be a way to help the community. There's helping us, and then getting the product out there faster to get a better name. Get it on
Yeah,
you quick, quick, quick.
yeah. No, speed is almost a form of marketing. If you can get it to somebody really quickly, that delights them, and it's another way of marketing as well. If you can get it to them quickly.
Well, it's like, just imagine just getting a shirt within a week of ordering it, and then you're posting it on your social media and stuff like that. And when you see these times, like the mail out times, it can be quick. There's I've actually sent stuff to the US and they had it faster in the US than what they did going across Canada, which was unbelievable. I was like, how did that happen? But,
Yeah.
Jason Violet got his outfit and Elizabeth did not. So we'll work on it when, like, even with like Elizabeth being in the West Coast, shipping out from the West Coast and we're in the East Coast. So it's like, there's two spots. So it'd be quicker getting throughout the US as well. So consistency.
Yeah. Well, I think that all grows with time. So again, this is about your tenaciousness of like constantly seeking a better way to do things. So as part of the final scribble is there a question you have in mind that you'd like to pose to the audience?
Just really at the end of the day, we're just looking to find out what others are looking for. Like, what is it that we can do to better your outfit? What is it quality wise, to the fit, to the fabric, is going to make us your number one pick when it comes to shopping and, what you pull out of your clothing or what you pull out of your closet for today's wear?
The question would be, what what would make the difference of the clothing being your first choice? So what makes clothing, like, why do you choose this item?
How can we be your first choice?
Oh yes, how can we be your first choice? That's legendary.
Yeah.
Yes. So
But always go
Erik, I
back to
want
have a voice.
as well, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's one of the things that I love is like, how can we be your first choice as a tagline? I love the have a voice and build a brand. Like, love it. And I think you are true to have a voice and build a brand. And you're definitely on the way to being first choice. I mean, you're my first choice. I just need to get more of it. So
We'll arrange that for you. We
no,
should
I
do
need to
that.
get more of it because it's so good. And yeah,
Well, even
but
now that we have like all of our tagging done, it looks really good. I really like it. I'll send you those too.
yeah, okay. But thank you. No, I think when people get an opportunity to wear it, they'll realize why it's so good. So, Erik, I want to thank you very much for your time today. I know you're a busy man,
Thank you.
running multiple things all at the same time. It's not just one thing you're running at the same time. So I want to thank you very much for your time today. I also want to, as they say, give you your flowers and to thank you so much for, it's not just the time that you give other people, it's also the person that you are. And also your tenaciousness flows through in the conversation, and obviously your grit and determination to make things better. And also the selflessness you also put out there into the world, that you're not doing things for yourself. You are very selfless. And I think people, as they get to know you and as the brand grows, they'll get to realize just the incredible person that you are. And how grateful I am to have been able to meet you in person as well, and to share a meal and to have a conversation and to have another conversation with you. So thank you for your time today.
Oh, there'll be more to come.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.